Welcome to Mount Mom Strong's early postpartum program, the first 6 weeks. We're in week 4 and this is core connections. We're gonna need a Pilates ball, a roller, a short one is fine, and a really light, easy loop band as well. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna lie down on our back and we're gonna have 90 degrees at our hips and 90 degrees at our feet. And you're gonna have your feet on the wall or the edge of the couch here, just past hip width. We're gonna place the ball between your knees. So we're gonna start off with that 360 diaphragmatic breathing. So we're gonna inhale, expand into our ribs, our back and our belly, and then exhale, squeeze the ball, lift pelvic floor, engage core. You can tilt that pelvis back a little bit to feel the expansion into your back if you're not feeling that, or if you're having trouble feeling the connection with your core. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, expand. Feel the air go down into your pelvic floor. Feel it relax. Exhale, squeeze, lift, and engage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift, and engage. Check in that those glutes are staying relaxed. If they're tensing, you might be trying to pull up the pelvic floor too fast. Make it a little bit more gradual. We can drag our feet down the wall to get our hamstrings on, and that also helps put our pelvis in a bit more of a neutral kind of position. And instead of arching this way, it's gonna help tilt it back more neutral. So let's do a few more breaths here. Inhale, expand. Feel your air push into the floor. Feel your pelvic floor relax. And then exhale, lift. And engage as we squeeze the ball. Once more. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Nice. So from here, I want you to reach your arms up. We're going to kind of feel about the upper abdominals, and we're going to see what the ribs are doing here. So we're going to inhale, expand. And don't be afraid to expand into your chest. We're so forward, we almost want to open. So when you bring your arms up, don't let your chest curve forward, but instead open with keeping the collarbones nice and wide. We're going to inhale and expand. And then exhale, reach your fingers to the ceiling, squeeze the ball, lift and engage pelvic floor. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, expand and relax. Exhale, squeeze, lift, and reach. So that's bringing our ribs down, creating this into a nice neutral alignment. So we're learning about good alignment on the ground, not against gravity. So when we take it to standing, we have better alignment. We're really expanding into our back to take away that curve in our lumbar spine there, so that we can get stacked. And so and we're dragging our feet down the wall, so our pelvis is in a more neutral position. It's not anteriorly tilted. So we're gonna drag the feet down the wall. You can keep a little bit of tension there. We're gonna inhale, expand. 360, back, ribs, pelvic floor. Exhale, squeeze the ball. Reach the arms up as we engage. And then inhale, release. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, release. Inhale, you can put one hand on your ribs, reach one arm up. Inhale, expand. Feel that expansion. Exhale, lift. Squeeze and reach. Feel how those ribs, everything softens. You can feel tension in your core. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift. Good. So we've done some floor angels here in the bed earlier on, but let's do them again now on the floor. And we're gonna really think about the connection with the core here. So we're gonna inhale, expand, and take a kind of primer breath here. Inhale, expand, and relax. And then we're gonna exhale, squeeze the ball, lift and engage. Reach our arms up and down. Inhale, expand, and relax. Feel the chest rise, do. Exhale, lift and engage, squeeze. Reach those arms up and all the way back on that exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze and lift and engage. Reaching up and back down. And you can reach out more into a Y depending on what you have available for you in your mobility in your shoulders. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. So still expanding into the back. Tilt the pelvis back a little bit if you need to. Inhale, expand. And exhale. One more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, engage. Nice work. All right, so we're gonna roll on over to our side here. So we're gonna roll over on into our side. We're gonna go up onto all fours, and I want your feet against the wall, and I want you to feel like you're dragging your foot up the wall there, getting those hamstrings on again. So that changes. As soon as I pull up with my feet, see how it puts my pelvis into a bit of a more neutral position. So in this position, I'm going to inhale, expand, back, body, belly, and then exhale, I'm going to reach one hand forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. This feels good. You can float your hand off the ground, bring it back in. Inhale. Don't forget about expanding into the back, not just the belly. Exhale. I'm going to lift my thumb so it's pointing to the ceiling. So then our lower traps here are going to be doing the work of lifting that arm up. Almost let it just float up. Think about this shortening here beside your scapula. Inhale, expand. 360. Exhale, lift and engage. Float the arm up. Inhale. Little drag up. Keep those hamstrings on. Inhale. You can relax them on the inhale. One more. Nice. Notice how I'm keeping my spine long. Don't let your head hang down. Sometimes you want to look and see what your core is doing. You can do that for a bit, but then keep it neutral. Other side. Inhale to expand. Relax pelvic floor. Lift pelvic floor. Engage core. And reach up. Inhale. Feel that expansion. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale. Inhale. Two more. One more. Nice. So we're going to have to come away from the wall, walk forward on your mat. If it's bothersome on your wrists, you can always go up onto your fists as well. So knees under the hips, hands under your shoulders. We're going to inhale here, and then exhale, lift and engage, and straighten one leg out. Inhale, 360, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Now, if that feels good, you can float that knee up off the ground, foot off the ground. Inhale, expand. Exhale, engage. So we're not lifting too high and arching into our back. We're keeping neutral. You're going to feel your glute come on to extend the hip here. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Notice how there's no shift in my hips. Inhale, expand. Exhale. This hip is staying over this knee. I'm not twisting to the side. Okay? If you're rocking, keep that toe down on the ground. Okay? Let's do a couple more, extending the leg and floating if you're at that stage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale. And exhale, lift and engage. Get that stability. And extend the leg out. Okay, let's switch sides. You can take a little stretch break, go into a child's pose if that feels good. And other side. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Just to the toe. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. If it's feeling good, you can start to lift it off the ground. If not, leave it there. Make sure that hip and knee are aligned. No rocking, no shifting. Nice, good stability. And make sure that you're not sunken down here. I should have said that earlier. Really push away from your palms. So you got serratus on here. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Nice work. Inhale, expand. Last one. Exhale. Nice. Give your wrists a little bit of a roll here and see how that feels. So we're going to go back onto our back on the floor. So lie onto your side, roll over onto your back. We're going to grab our band and we're going to place it around our knees. So we've done some hip lifts in the past with the ball squeeze. If you're someone that knows you need more, you need that engagement. If you're not going to feel anything and you need the ball between your knees to kind of feel pelvic floor, then you can go with the ball as well here. With the band around the knees, it's going to help turn on glute med a little bit there. No, okay. Here. All right, so we're going to go over onto our back and we're going to activate our glutes here. So lying down on your back, we're going to place our heels together. If this is too much of an opening for you, you can place pillows on either sides of your knees to prop them up if it's too much of a stretch. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and expand. If this is too much of a stretch here, you're going to place pillows on the outside of both knees to take a little bit of the tension off. If you feel like your back is arching away, you can take a small pillow and place it under your bum so that you're in a bit more of a tilt. Okay, so just a couple modifications if needed. In this position here, we're going to inhale and expand. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, engage core, and we're going to try to engage your glute meds. You can squeeze your heels together to feel the glute meds here on the outside of your hips. Engage. Inhale, relax. Exhale, lift and engage. Often, you're going to feel a deeper stretch in your adductors when you squeeze your glutes because they're opposite muscles. So if these are tense, then these are forced to relax. So it's a good way to also relax these adductors. They're really tight throughout pregnancy, trying to create more stability in the pelvis when we lacked some of the strength in our core there. So we're going to inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Squeeze those heels, feel the glutes. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Now placing your feet flat on the ground, we're going to go into those hip lifts. This time we're going to take our band and we're going to place it around our knees. Our feet are going to be just hip width and our heels fairly close to our bum. So just like we did last week, we're going to inhale and expand. Exhale, lift and engage. You can kind of tilt your pelvis back there. Weight through the heels, feel your glutes on, and then extend through the hips. So the little bit of tension on the band is going to help turn on those glute meats. Inhale, set them down. Expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Lifting yourself up. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Extending through the hips. Inhale. Exhale, lift. So you shouldn't feel your hamstrings doing all the work. We want to feel glute max. And because we have the band on, we're going to feel a little bit of glute med. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Once more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift. Pushing those feet into the floor. Good. So we're going to take the band off and we're going to roll over onto our side. We're going to grab our roller here. We're going to place it between our knees. We're going to get 90 degrees with our feet against the wall here, 90 degrees at our hip. And all I'm doing here is I'm going to inhale. I'm reaching my knee forward. I'm not going to reach my ribs. I'm going to keep my ribs stacked. I'm reaching my knee forward. Inhale. And then exhale. Zip up the core. I'm going to pull it back and find length in this glute here. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale. Pull it back. Inhale. So we're getting internal hip rotation on this bottom leg, which is so crucial for our lunges later on and activating our glutes. Exhale, engage our core, find that length. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, shift this hip back, shift into it, feel that length. Let's roll over onto the other side. I'll show you from a different angle so you can see my knee moving here. So 90 degrees at my hips, 90 degrees at my feet, and I'm going to inhale, reach this knee beyond my other knee, and then exhale, engage my core, lift my pelvic floor, pull this hip back. You can always use your arm as a pillow to support your head to keep you more neutral, or use a pillow. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. So we did a lot of this rolling back in the side body breathing earlier to find that length, and then we breathed in there. But now we're engaging our core on that length. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. 2 more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, engage, reach back. Last one. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Nice work. So now we're going to place the band around our knees and we're going to engage the glutes. Essentially, this one is hard, so make sure you're having a really light band. And you might only be able to do 3 or 4 of these, and that's fine. So back to lying on your side, 90 degrees, super crucial. Your heels are aligned with your knees and you're 90 degrees. You don't want to be too high or too low. Go support your head, grab a pillow if you'd like, and I'm going to bring my top foot up a little bit higher so that my legs are parallel to the floor. So I'm not down at an angle, I'm parallel. And from here, I'm going to inhale, reach forward. Exhale, engage my core and bring it back. Inhale, reach forward. And I'm kind of lifted a little bit off the floor here with the bottom of my ribs. Exhale, engage, reach it back. Inhale, reach forward. You might already start to feel the burn. Exhale, reach back. So this is my new favorite. No more clamshells. Well, we'll do some for internal rotation, but this really is a bit more dynamic and it really gets the length in the glute and turns it on here. Inhale, reach forward, exhale, bring it back. Let's roll over to the other side and I'll show you a different angle. So 90 degrees at my hips. I'm opening up this leg so that it is kind of parallel to the floor. I'm going to inhale, reach forward. Exhale, engage, pull it back. Inhale, reach forward. You might feel, oh my God, I'm so fatigued because that bottom glute was working as well when it was on the floor. So we're going for 6 of these today. You can pause and do more if you can, and if you can't get there, that's okay. Couple more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, pull it back. Nice work. So we're going to lift ourselves up, get rid of the band, and then we're going to come down to the floor, and we're just going to do a few more core activation exercises. So from here, make sure you have a nice slippery surface, and you can take your Pilates ball. So you have something to squeeze. We're going to inhale, expand. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, engage core. Sliding that leg out and back in. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, engage. One more. Nice. We're working on keeping this all neutral. No arching of the back, pulling away. Other side. 8 on the other side. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Again, if you're not feeling that expansion to your back, you can tilt the pelvis back a little bit. Feel that expansion. Inhale. Squeeze and extend. Long through the crown. Two more. You got this. Nice. Place your ball down. Now we're going to lift one leg up off the ground, and we're going to press our hand in here on the exhale. So we're going to inhale to prepare, and then exhale. Inhale. Lift pelvic floor, engage core. And then switch sides. Inhale, expand. Relax the pelvic floor. Lift pelvic floor, engage core. Lift that leg up and press into that knee, creating a little overpressure. We're connecting on a sling of our body here in the anterior oblique sling as we press across our body, so making another new connection here. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Before you even lift that leg off the ground, continue to exhale. Create a little overpressure. Inhale, expand, and relax. Exhale, lift and engage. Two more. And last one. Awesome. You can roll over, exhale, press yourself up, and give yourself a pat on the back. That was quite a big progress over the last 4 weeks there, so lots more connecting to your core. I hope you're feeling that. You're feeling the lift. You're feeling the engagement. You're feeling that relaxation, feeling it all over. And if not, back it off and then come back to it. All right, have yourself a great day.